So let's come to Delhi next.
Okay, we can look at Delhi because it's interesting.
In Delhi, there are 7 seats. Even if the Congress and the AAP were to come together, Yashwant Deshmukh and his team at CVoter project for India Today that the BJP will win all 7, 54 versus 42. Do you think AAP and Congress coming together makes this margin narrower or not really?
Not really. I mean, look at that. Once they cross 50% of that vote share, it doesn't matter in that way. Besides, again, the chemistry question, how many seats Congress does contest, how many seats Aam Aadmi Party contest, and whether the voters of Aam Aadmi Party vote for the Congress candidates or not.
Let's come to Chhattisgarh, where the Chief Minister of the Congress is the most popular Congress Chief Minister around, and also a man who, according to the polls, seems set to take the Congress to victory. At least that's what the polls are saying at this moment. Despite all that, in the Lok Sabha projection, the NDA alliance is expected to bag 10 out of the 11 seats. The India alliance only won, a gap of 10% in the vote share in Chhattisgarh.
Can we turn to from there? Again, you're seeing very different voting for state and centre. Telangana, another state which is going to the polls in a few months from now. If we have the Telangana numbers, it will be fascinating to look at that, because this is another state where you've got this distinction possibly emerging between how a regional party like BRS does in a state poll, what happens in a national election. But the overall picture, Rahul, is coming very clear. And Rahul Verma, as we end the show, is that the real message of the mood of the nation? The Indian voter trusts Mr. Modi as Prime Minister, as leader of the country, even more than he trusts the BJP. And therefore, when he votes for a state party, whether it's the Congress or a regional party in a Vidhan Sabha, in Lok Sabha, he wants Mr. Modi. Is that basically the big picture which is emerging as of August 2023? Can that change in any way? Is there an X factor out there?
That's correct, Rajdeep. Given these numbers, what we know that Prime Minister Modi is certainly more popular than the votes BJP is polling. He's actually pulling up BJP's core vote. He's basically bringing those swing or extra vote for the BJP and creating a big cushion for the BJP in many states. And so if the second question, which is there a hope for opposition? Yes, there is a hope, but very little. And they have to work really, really hard. Where is the hope? If you look at the satisfaction numbers, that have slightly come down. If you look at Prime Minister Modi's number, that has slightly come down. Yes, Prime Minister Modi and BJP's satisfaction numbers are still above 50 and 60% mark, but decline. And then if the opposition or Congress actually manages to do well in the upcoming state elections, it will have a fighting chance. I'm not saying it will change the game for them. It will have a fighting chance. And the fighting chance is basically making the national Lok Sabha election a state-by-state contest.
Okay.
And the devil lies in the seat sharing detail. And so the critical states for, like, I think there are 2 kinds of competition. One is basically Bihar and Maharashtra kind of states, where the allies have to pull it for Congress. And the second kind of states are Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Rajasthan, where Congress will have to pull up. Unless these 2 things happen simultaneously, I don't think opposition...
There are 2 states left. I want to zip through them. Jharkhand with 14 seats. CVoter predicting for India Today that the BJP will win 12 of those seats, the India Alliance 2. This is despite the JMM, the Congress and the RJD. And for what it's worth, the JDU being on the same ticket. 55% votes for the India Alliance, for NDA, 36% for the India Alliance. Then there is Jammu and Kashmir on the 5 Lok Sabha seats. So Jammu and Kashmir, CVoter predicts that the India Alliance will win 3, the NDA will win 2. So the 2 seats of the Jammu region, the NDA Alliance is likely to win. The India Alliance likely to win the 3 seats of the Kashmir region.
You know, the fact is, Rahul, as we've been showing, and Delhi was a good example, you'd think that AAP plus Congress would, give a fight. Yashwant's poll says 7-0. Arithmetic has to be matched by chemistry. And I think when the 2 come together, the opposition needs everything to go its way. You see, the opposition at the moment is a bit like Bangladesh going into the World Cup. Bangladesh needs everything to go its way. It's a good team. It's got potential, but it needs everything, every piece to fall in to be a challenger in a World Cup. On the other hand, Mr. Modi and the BJP under him is, would you call them England or India going into the World Cup, the favourites by a fair amount at the moment. and something has to go drastically wrong. So you've got one side which must not make any mistake, and the other side which has to get everything right. So what's your cover, Raj? He will be back in 2024.
And there's no question mark.
I told a Congress leader this is your cover, and they said, please tell Raj Chengappa we'll see him in June 2024.
I'm quite waiting for that, but let's be clear, when we put this there, we said it's the mood of the nation poll, and the current mood is what is being reflected. But having done these things for almost 2 decades, now must be 24 years, let's bring some caveats in, and the caveats are this. If you take the last decade, 2013, the trend was that Dr. Manmohan Singh was down and then the Congress was down, and that trend continued, and the BJP won the election. If that trend holds, then Mr. Modi will make history by having 3 consecutive majorities. Go back another 10 years when we did it in 2003, we predicted that Mr. Vajpayee and the BJP would win handsomely. It was reiterated in the January poll, but they lost that election. So what it does is that this is a game, we are 1 year away, things can happen. Also, we showed the economic side. There are social issues that are there where the opposition can position itself. When you looked at Manipur, what was the outcome of that? Some of the key issues in the state with democracy. There are issues that can build. And that's what makes politics so exciting. Right now, it's Prime Minister Modi and the BJP at the forefront, likely to get a 3rd term. Very good, strong opposition building up. And I think that's what is going to change what we see.